we're moving right along. The dominoes, they're starting to fall. And when you look at what's going on, it's pretty clear what this team's going to look like. We saw today, big news, Terron's coming back. I'm going to get into that one because that's a big topic there. Wilkins, he's gone. The long contract, Chris Long from the Chiefs is a mega contract. Get into that. We re-signed Needham. Mac Jones got sent to the Jags for dirt, cheap price. And then Hill had an altercation. But what I felt like what happened the last time was really kind of confirmed here. He showed some excellent character and wisdom and leadership. So those are the topics for today, guys. Had a great time on the live. I'm still working out, trying to, the tech part and then handling it all. Had some great guests. Had Cody, a viewer this week. Last time I had done it, we had Skylar and we had Lucas. And then this week we're going to have a new guest and we're going to talk about the draft. He's a draft guy. He really is into the draft. He's a viewer. I got to get up and catch up to where he's at. So we're going to talk draft this week on the live Friday at 10 p.m. So come join us. Want to hear everything you have because it's not about me or him talking. It's about trying to figure this thing out. I've got my early indications, but I'm not going to share you with them right now. But we will on Friday night. So doing a Twitter, Curtis at Fins News 1. Check me out there. I'm working my Twitter stuff up. Help me with the Twitter. So that's it, guys. So likes, and subscribes, and comments, and views. That's how I stay in business. I love to do this. I love to serve you. And I need that stuff. That's how it goes. That's the blood for the algorithm gods and keeps me in the gig. So I want to give you a shout out and a shout out to ASpread, my sponsor. Without to you, this show ain't going down. ASpread's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. All right, Terron coming back. We know he's my man. I love Terron. Healthy Terron is the best tackle here that we've seen in a long time when he's healthy. We know the injury thing, but you have to understand what this guy's going through to play for us and why it's easy to be upset at Terron for being injured. Guys, he is going through a world of hurt. Day in and day out. I mean, you got to understand, it's hard for him probably to sleep at night through last season, the season before that, to come with all these injuries and to come out on Sunday against the best in the world to do that. I love Terron. I think he's a true football player, true warrior, smart guy, super charismatic, ultimately talented. But the injury thing is a real thing. And he was debating whether to retire or not. And I don't know what was behind that, but it was a great a business tactic because the Miami Dolphins are not getting Hunt back either. I'm almost complete with what I said was going to happen. We're not getting Wilkins. We're not getting Hunt. Their prices are sky high. 2 years ago, I said the inside offensive lineman market was going up through the roof. You got to get early in or you're going to pay too much and you're not going to be able to pay later on. I said the same thing with the DT market. I think I had said, well, I'll get into the Wilkins part. But Terron had the Dolphins over a barrel because if he retired, they weren't getting that much money back. Guaranteed, it had already been sucked up. And so they had to bring him back. And now they're going to restructure. And what that means is the only way to deal with this is to take guaranteed money from this year and push it to next year. And when you look at the numbers, to get rid of Terron next year, pre-June, we would have lost 13 and gained 8. And then post-June, it would have been -6 plus 14. And what they're going to do is take the money from this year locked up and then put it to next year, which means Terron's going to be here for 2 more years. That's without a doubt. Talent-wise, it's great for the Dolphins if he stays healthy. If not, and if he starts diminishing because the pain gets too much and injuries start mounting, it's not going to be good. But Terron's on this roster next year and this year, without a doubt, with this restructuring. So it's great news for the offensive line, but it's Miami's got to move a lot of money, guys. And Terron is going to be a part of that, and there's going to be others coming soon. So I love the fact that he's back because without him, this offensive line would have been disaster, and this offense would have been trashed. Concern, obviously, is all that money tied up into a guy as awesome as my man Terron is. who's got health issues. All right, so Wilkins, I said 2 years ago, I was trying to find a podcast. Someone I know saw it here. I said, we better lock him up. When Williams got signed, Lawrence, and somebody else got signed, the guy from Washington for 20. I said, look, lock him up for 22. I think if you don't, maybe you get the tag on him, but maybe that'll be something that's going to anger him. But ultimately, I think he's going to get for about 25. He's shooting for 25. He wanted 22 back then. We didn't want to pay. And now he's going to end up getting to 25, like I said, and he's gone. Long got $95 million in guarantees. He's a year and a half older just about than Wilkins. But that's pretty much the entire contract that he could have got 2 years ago just about. And so we screwed up on that. We missed a cycle. We lost him because we did not foresee the trend. Now you could say, oh, who would pay that much for Wilkins? Well, Malbouk with the Ravens, I'm probably screwing his name up. He got paid the money to lock him up over there. Chiefs, who won the Super Bowl, they're paying heavy money for Long, who's better pass rusher, but substantially more money. So the smart teams lock up their DTs. When I played in college, if I say play, I was a walk-on. They were trying everybody and their mother out who was big. They had guys here that were on juice. We all knew that. But they're like, I remember the coach saying, you know how hard it is? I heard him talking in the corner. You know how hard it is to find guys that are that big, 300 plus pounds that can move like that. And I've heard it in the NFL. It's a truth. Guys that in these positions, to play those kind of positions, to be that size and to do the pass rush and run stop and be athletic is so rare. And so teams are paying for DTs, whether you think or whatever, but we're paying 26 next year for Chubb. This year, I think, and he's not even playing. So we should have locked up Wilkins. You're going to see a substantial difference without him. We can mitigate it if we get the right nose tackle. I've gone over that, but he's going to get big money, pretty much what I said, about 25, and he's going to deserve it, and he's going to earn it. This guy is a star. Star. And when you get a secondary that can actually cover long enough, his sack numbers will go up. Did you notice we couldn't cover for a bunch of years? When 21, he was here. In 22, we couldn't cover, really. And as soon as we could cover this year, which was we dropped, his numbers go up. The longer secondary can cover, the more guys like this get sacks and pressures. So if you go someplace with a good secondary, watch his numbers go higher than they were this year. Anyway, so Hill, he was in some kind of altercation about a seat. Somebody said it was his seat, whatever. It turned into a big brouhaha. And Hill showed he didn't get in trouble. He didn't put his hands on anybody. He didn't get upset. I'm sure he got angry, but he didn't do anything to get in trouble. That's leadership. That shows growth from the guy from a few years ago. We all know the issues. And then this year with the doc thing, Hill's grown up. And he's a guy getting paid tons of money. We need him to be a leader. I didn't like the whole talk on his show about Tua needing, there was a whole thing about Tua. I thought that you should just not even brought that up because it's just a media thing that we don't need. But guys keep growing. This was a wonderful thing for a guy who's going to probably get more money extended, $30 million a year for next 2-3 years. So this was good news. Now, Needham, he's been signed. And he's a good player. He really didn't fit in this year too much. He didn't get play time. The scheme that Fangio has is very specific from an intellectual standpoint, from an understanding standpoint. And maybe he just didn't get it felt out. He had a lot of injuries. He might have been slowed to get in here. It might not be a scheme for him. Every scheme is different for different guys. But he's a good player. Boyer found him, found Kohu. Boyer was a big piece defining both these guys. Both are going to be here and both are going to play good roles. I don't think we're going to be digging any more into the secondary except for maybe the safety. We're really broke. Right now we're at 20. Guys, we're at negative 23 million. It's gone down. So Terron's going to, but we are in a big hole, and that's without the signing of Smith. So we're close to about 30 million in a negative right now. We got to do a lot of work, and I don't think we're going to be spending big. Now, last note, Jones, a lot of people, the whole thing, some people said Jones was better than Tua, which I didn't think so. I think he had a better season, and I think he had an early lead. I think Jones can play someplace. he doesn't have a lot of great tools. His is his brain, but he has something wrong with him, grabbing guys in the Johnson and losing control, like professional wrestling and from a quarterback, ridiculous. There's something going on there mentally, but he's smart. You put him in the right situation, he can succeed. I think a guy like Mike McDaniel can coach this guy up and he can play. I don't think he's a backup. I think he's a starter somewhere. I can see him doing like a Baker Mayfield type thing, although I like Baker better. I think Baker is just more of that alpha type where this guy's is a little weird, but I think he's got some talent. But I noticed continuing that just a poor coverage that you see. Right away, I saw in like the Twitterverse, some people saying, and Flores said, I wish I had drafted Mac Jones. Guys, there's a lot of things to be mad at Flores about. He never said that. Right here, you can see Mike Lombardi. I misspoke on the pod, and those were my words for Flores, not his. Flores, well, what do you think about him? Had one of the biggest media hit jobs that I've ever seen. And this got a little bit of coverage saying, oh, he just made it up. But he never said that. And so we just got to let that thing die. When you say that stuff, it's just really, it's not totally your fault because they covered it one way on one end and then just really didn't do much on the other end. But Tua is the better quarterback, that elite release. He's more of a normal person. He's got some quirks too. But Mac Jones can play. I don't know if he could be a great starter, but he could start for somebody. Tua is the better guy. Jones is not going to be in the division anymore. I think they're going to either get a free agent over there with New England. Better watch out, man. They might be able to get there's some good quarterbacks out there floating around, and then maybe they'll draft what's-his-face to receive it, a top receiver in the third round. But he's out. Tua is the better quarterback. Tua and Jones suffered terrible framework, but Tua is able to thrive a little bit more. 1 year, Jones did a good job, but when you had Mike McDaniel, that's a good framework. But Tua is just a better quarterback. Okay, so what? Let's move on. And again, Flores, this guy, he's been lambasted for too much. He wasn't half of what they're saying. It was all media hit job. Again, not to say that Flores is the greatest thing since sliced bread, didn't have flaws, but he never said that, so let that die as well. So the Dolphins right here, I think are continuing what I'm saying. I don't think Van Ginkel's coming back either. I don't see it because if you're Van Ginkel, we didn't want you. We kicked you out, and Fangio brought you back. Had to talk it back in. You didn't get good market value. I said the guy's going to make about 10 to 12 on the market, and no one was willing to pay because he didn't get the exposure. Chubb was in there. Phillips was in there. And so his market was kind of dropped. But then when he got a whole long stretch of starting, you could see the market rise up. And this guy's playing for his next contract. He's going someplace that's going to let him be a starter so he can take a shot at making either what he's making now or more on that second contract. He'll sign a 3-year contract someplace as a starter and then hope to increase his value or keep it the same. But if he stays here, he'll get some time. But then Chubb's not going anywhere. Phillips is not going anywhere. And he's going to get a small time piece. And then when he goes to the next contract, they're going to offer him peanuts. So I think Van Ginkel's gone as well. But I'm hoping not. I love the Gink. Anyway, guys, catch me with the live. Appreciate all you guys do. Curtis, catch you next time. Go Fins. Building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.